Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Good Servant Show, where Jesus Christ is the center of our worship. Yeah, feeling pretty darn good. Well, I almost hit the end button right there. That would have been horrible, guys. Sorry about that. I almost dumped the stream. That would have been horrible. Let me go ahead and put these up right here so that we can get started. Well, I accidentally put that. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Accidentally put the wrong thing here. There we go. Get it together, Steven. Come on now. Go ahead and put this up right there. I'll tell you, it's been it's been kind of a weird day, right? In the sense that I've had a lot to do, and there's always these like little glimmers of hope, right? Where even in the middle of being really busy, right, you're like, wow, maybe I could reconcile an old friendship or something that's kind of broken from before. And then, you put a little time into it. It's not like I'm bored. Trust me on that. I've got so much to do that this is crazy, Like I'm scheduling things in between things just in making it work, And not saying that I'm not complaining about that. I do love it. I'm not. I wish it was more. I wish I could put more in there. But man, I just end up in these. I feel like I get baited into these conversations that are just a waste. I don't know if the other person really has it. Even from the outset, even cares for it to turn out good. Like it's almost like a time vampire. And I'm like, while my discernment is good in the sense that I know when somebody's like, kind of against me, and I've been in scenarios like that before, but I still stay in it because it's not about me. It's about, God loves that other person, whether or not I'm getting along with them or not. And so I try to think about like what would God want out of this whole thing, right? He wants us to love each other, right? And so, you stay in it knowing that if you were like on the street, you wouldn't be in that kind of scenario. You would just let that person go, like, okay, whatever. And, just to be safe or whatever for your own safety and sanity. But when you're trying to do something that's beyond, your own self, right? Beyond putting myself in the center of the world, sometimes I feel like people take advantage of that, and I think that there are people set up that like they want to take your time, they just want to soak up an hour of your time or something like that, and you're like, well, I mean, I get it, if that's what your intention is to distract me, then yeah, I get it. Then that's what a person is doing, right? But I would never understand it if it's like not that person's job where they, make a living out of it. Why would you want to do that to somebody on purpose? It makes no sense to me, Luke, what's going on, my brother? And it's these hey, Luke, time vampires out there, man. They just latch on, man, and they want to soak up an hour of your time. Or I used to okay, when I was on the flat earth debate, channels, right, watching the flat earth debates, and I used to enjoy that, man. I liked, I like hearing about the science and and the gravity and all this and all these, people disproving stuff, right? I like that kind of stuff, right? More so, I mean, yeah, flat earth is good, right? I like it, but I like the science part of it, And I used to get involved in these hey, Alex, I used to get involved in these, you know, debates in the chat, in the comment section after the thing was over, you know. And I would spend hours, man, like, you know, the guy would be like, "Where's your evidence?" You know, and like, "Oh man, what are you talking about, man? There's all kinds of evidence." And they're like, "No, there's no evidence." And then you bring them all this stuff, right? I mean, an hour or 2 hours goes by, right? And you're like, "Wait a second, man, is this even a real guy? Like, what am I doing, man? Like, am I wasting my time? Is this even a real person? You know?" Uh, you know, and I was still kind of learning about it. This was back long enough ago where, shoot, it's already been almost 5 years now, 6 years. Hey, Charity, how you doing? Good to see you. I see that you're gonna be scheduled tonight too, so I might pop over there and check that out too. But these time vampires, man, in the chat section, and you just go back and forth with these. You know, you write something and then they write something back, and then you write something. You know, but I think that there is a possibility that there's people that automatically like they automatically from the very beginning don't have your best interest in mind, or they don't want they have no intention of learning anything or trying to teach you anything. It's just specifically to waste your time and to keep you there. Yeah, those arguing with, yeah, man. Right, right. He goes, even back when I had Facebook. Okay, so Luke says, oh yeah, arguing with people through the comments can waste a lot of time and energy. Even back when I had Facebook, arguing with real people, not just but right, right. But now who knows if it's a bot or not, right? Like, I'm thinking now of all these like flat earthers that used to, you know, like, no, they're like known ball earthers, right? That everyone, you know, has, you know, debated with underneath the, you know, in the comment section or whatever. They just probably just sit there all day, you know. And who knows if these are even real people, man. And there's people like that with you know, Bible debate stuff. You know, you bring your verses and they bring a verse and then you bring a verse. I've even had interactions where I'm trying to agree with the person and they're trying to find a reason not to agree. And I'm like, no, I agree with you. And they're like, no, I don't like the way you said that. You know? And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, they want to bring up your friend, your aunt and your uncle. Oh, I don't like your aunt and your uncle, man. They're horrible. You're like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. Getting off into the weeds, man. Getting off into the weeds. What's up, Michigander? Michael's here. Man, we're doing pretty good for a Saturday night, man. 7 people already. It's not even 10 minutes, man. And shoot, I put out the notification on the community board 3 times, right? And I'm thinking that you almost got to do that, right? You almost got to put it out yourself a few times. Is that how did you guys get the notification? Did it pop out this time fairly quickly? Because you know, there was 2 times where it was like one person for like 8 minutes or something like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be, you know, a little group or whatever. But then it ended up being over 15 or whatever. Crazy, right? And I'm like, well, where, you know, people miss half the thing. I mean, probably good for them. I don't really get warmed up until like in the middle anyway, but I have nothing really to say except, oh yeah, I feel pretty good. I slept good today. All this kind of self-centered, you know, mumbo jumbo. But so wait, hold on. Turn the Motorola signal. insignia upside down. I'm trying to think what it looks like. It's like an M, right? It's like a. I'm trying to think what it looks like. Motorola insignia. And what does it look like? Michigander, is it some kind of devil thing? I mean, everything is like that nowadays, right? I mean, Monster Energy drink actually has like the numbers on it, you know, and it says "Unleash the Beast" right on the side of the can, man. It's like they don't even hide it, you know. Oh, it's vampire teeth. Oh my lord, what is going on? And then D Live is devil. The D's even capital. If you just move the D over and read it backwards, it's devil. Or Venmo, right? Is Venom. Santa is an anagram for Satan. It's just crazy, man. And how did we not notice this stuff? I mean, I know that we didn't really know, but we should have noticed some of this stuff, right? Acts chapter 13, verse 39 and 38 and 39. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins. Well, I'll say this. Praise Jesus, right? Because without him, there is no remission of sins, right? I have been battling. Okay, Charity says, I've been battling depression lately. Haven't felt like that in years. Granted, my nan who raised me died. She was 93. And I know she's at peace. I don't know where it's coming from. It's bad. Yeah, sometimes, we get caught in a little, like a loop in our thinking. We'll think of one thing that reminds us of another thing that reminds us of another thing. And if it keeps bringing you back to something, right, then that's the thing, right? It's just about changing your thoughts to something different. So when you think of your nan, think of her in paradise. Or when you think of disaster ahead, think of how prepared you are, right? Try to put like a spin on it that is truthful, that is not a lie, right? But is also makes you feel better, And yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I don't know specifically like what prayers. I know that there's times where I'll do I'll do a hey Hannah, how you doing? I'll do a search on stuff like that, like depression, and look at verses about overcoming and stuff like that. And so like just like take whatever you're thinking about and just think about it in the best possible terms. And it's for some reason it's always my thinking that is affecting my mood. She says, "Good day, ventricles." that's like a smart heart joke, right? And I'm like, where did you get that? Where did you get that from? So that's like saying what? Hello, dear heart. That's funny. Yes, I'll pray for you too, faithfully. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Michael, you want to join real quick? You could talk about some of the things that you do. I wouldn't mind that. I'll drop a link and a couple people can join if they want. I could do that. Let me see here. I gotta make a link though. She says it means dear heart. That's so funny, man. Uh, Alrighty. Let me put this right here. She goes, thank you. I've encountered some very, very dark people throughout the burial, etc. Family from the past. Oh, I can understand that, right? Where, oh, that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind doing the show myself. So it's family members that have maybe like maybe ulterior thoughts and motives and maybe an agenda. They remind you of something from your childhood, maybe. I can understand that because sometimes, like at family events, right? I'll run into somebody that will remind me of who I used to be, even though like I'm not that person anymore, and you know things that I've reconciled. It's just thinking of a weaker version of me makes me sad, right? And oh yeah, that's no problem, Michael. No worries about that. I man, I just I've been praying. I mean, I've been praying nonstop. It's like it seems like there's everybody's got something going on, and so during my study hours, I'll just put on the audio Bible and just start closing my eyes and pray. And I think that that's when I learn the most, right? Is things like they just get revealed to you. You're like, oh, okay, I get it, I get that, or I get this. What was one that came? Oh yeah, well, okay. One thing that like kind of came out. It's not a real big revelation, but it just sort of popped out that um, the only way to really feel good is to either completely assimilate with the world, the whole meditation, become one with the world thing, right? Or separate from the world completely, which is what God wants us to do, right? But when we keep going in and out, trying to pull people out of there, man, it could be tumultuous. And so we're not really fully enjoying like the joy and the peace uh, for reaching salvation because we want other people to feel it too, right? And we have loved ones that we're trying to reach, and to the point where it's almost backfiring, right? It's almost backfiring, when we talk to them. Oh, you talk about God all the time, and you're like, oh no, I'm just trying to spread the joy, right? Just trying to share being able to find some kind of happiness and peace in this world. And but there's people that don't want it, man. Even if they knew what they were facing when they're gonna die, and they knew the truth, there's people that would not choose it, and that's baffling to me. Yeah, me too. Hey, look, Charity, I understand because I feel the same way. I can almost go with hate on that. Like, I highly dislike it too. That's probably how I would say it, but I feel the first way more, and it's just there's like even if you live it the best possible way out there, there's still nothing. There's still nothing that means anything to accomplish. I mean, I hate to say it like that, right? Doesn't that sound depressing? It's like there's nothing out there that's worth anything. You'll never accomplish happiness out there. But it's true, right? It's like, I mean, so what? I could get a nice little, medium sized nice car, couple designer shirts, right? maybe this time I go to the barber shop and I get a decent haircut and get lucky, you know. Yeah, that's probably about the best I can probably hope for, you know. And you know, I will only have to go in debt 3 cars to get it, you know. It's it's not worth it, man. Then you find out that you go to college for 4 or 5 years, right? And then you find out all that's lies. I mean, it can barely help you when you watch Jeopardy, which is another setup to get you to believe in lies, you know. It's she says the flora and fauna is pretty. Yes, yes. You know what? If we go outside and enjoy animals and trees and nature and stuff like that, that's really the right idea, right? Because God did a nice job on this place. If we took care of it and enjoyed it, right, it would be a, you know, it would be a paradise if even, I would say, if even like 20% of the people like were like that really followed God, you know, this place would be a paradise. There would be enough people to keep it right, you know. Not that you know, it makes me cringe when I think of, you know, good and bad people, because I think we're all equally not good. But but there is a way to act and a way not to act in the public areas, you know. And I think that if you save your fancy walking for home and just do regular walking in the street, then, you know, I think we all get along better, you know. But that's the thing now, man. People want to do their craziest thing in the most public area. And you're like, what are you doing, man? Go home. This is insane. And so now lately, right, there's been all these like um, events where, like, you know, the numbers are starting to. I mean, there's Mark of the Beast stuff and Antichrist stuff all the time in the, you know, this gematria or whatever. And it's weird, man, because you start looking around at, you know, like, who, this could be something that could happen soon, you know. And so, sometimes I think I'm in denial a little bit, right? Because I know it's coming, but then I'm like, when it finally gets close, I'm like, nah, it's not really happening. Oh, he reminding you it's almost dark. And oh, you have to cut. I don't get it. You have to cut? What is it? Oh, you have to leave. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't I didn't know what you were saying. I'm like, what? You gotta cut. Don't cut me. Or cut Mylar bags or whatever. I saw that over there. I'm like, they're banning Mylar bags. I'm excited to find out what's going on with that. To me, that's big news for me, because I don't watch the news, right? So I get all my news through, like, you know, a couple of Gematria news channels that are maybe breaking down some headlines or something like that. And you know, I find that interesting. But I know that, like, so, cut tomato. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you were like you know, being cool or something, like, oh yeah, I gotta cut, guys. I'm taking off, man. Gotta go chop it up with my husband. You know, I thought you were like, you know, like new slang or something. Hey Pax, how you doing? Nice to see you. And yeah, it's just wild out there, man. But not to, like, it's like I don't want people to think of it as depressing, right? Now the thing, it does like make me feel sad that there's people anywhere getting hurt, right? Um, you know, that part I don't think I'll ever not be sad about. But you know, as far as how it is for us, you know, it's difficult, you know, or whatever. God said it would be this way. And so that that makes me feel like everything is going according to plan. And he is in charge of everything. And everybody, you know, he's got us, you know. Plastic bags are banned here in the shops. Everyone brings their own cotton jute bags. Wow, really? Oh, so you got to bring your own your own bags for groceries? I mean, they do that here in Cali a lot. It's like you know, for the environment or whatever. And they look at you crazy if you don't do it, but there's a lot of people that don't, you know. They got regular plastic bags. I don't know, it's some kind of Australian thing. I don't know what jute is, but it's probably from there. I don't know. Yeah, you got people they kind of virtue signal, you know. They're like, "Oh, we brought our bags," you know. And they look at you crazy. It says they reinstated the bags with their weight thick. Oh yeah, yeah. No, same thing happened to us too, right? They took the bags, these thin bags or whatever, and now they're like nice bags. To be honest, you really could reuse them if you wanted. But like the bags they used to have at the grocery store, I mean, you were lucky to get those things in the house, man. That handle would break off on you, or it was super thin, man. You had to go from your car to the house with those things. Yeah, Michael. Hey, that's the way to do it is to bring a backpack, I guess, right? Natural fiber. Natural fiber. Is that what cotton is? Natural fiber. Okay, all right. All right. But well, see, I remember it even earlier than that with the bags, you know? And now they charge you 10 cents. I don't know if that's in other states too. But I know in Cali, so you're in San Diego, they probably do it there too, right? Charge you 10 cents for the bag. And I'm like, well, you know, 10 cents if it's like 5 bags, it's worth it. But I know people that are they think about that. They go, "Oh, I'll just take it out." And they got like, you know, 20 canned goods and they're like trying to take them out to their car. I'm like, "Man, pay the 10 cents, man. Why you have like 20 cans of wax beans you're in olives you're trying to bring out to your car. Like just spend the money, man. Just spend the 10 cents, man." And then the bag is actually nice, you know. Like, I mean, I don't know. You're right. It is a lot thicker, you know. It's like almost like this. It's like 3 or 4 bags all together, you know. You know, walking out with all that stuff. Can you imagine? Or holding like, you know, a few steaks or something like that close to your shirt. That's horrible, man. See, I couldn't do that, man. Michael says I've had the stores accuse me for no reason and call the cops when I stole nothing. Well, just let them search your bag or whatever. Just say, "Look at my bag, man. I didn't take nothing from you." You probably caused some kind of scene where you're like, "Nah, you ain't going in my bag. This is America." Make it like a statement. You just let them look in your bag and say, "Look, there's nothing in there. I gotta go, man. You can't be messing with me, man." Says they have cameras though. Tell them to prove it. Exactly. Exactly. And if you haven't left the store yet, right? I would even pull this one, right? Yeah, I was about to go to the checkout, man. Like that's how I carry my groceries in my back pocket, you know? That's how I carry my sponges up to the counter, you know, to buy them. You have to wait till I leave the store before you can say I took something, you know? But that's like another layer of deception, right? Like, thank God we're not those people anymore that do stuff like that. But when I was a kid, I thought I was smart, you know? Smart but stupid, you know? So the cop was cool and on your side. Okay, well, that's good. All right. But you let the cops search you when you got there. Okay. Says so much for freedom. They won't let Novak in for the U.S. tennis, but because, oh, right. Yeah. And see, that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool. But you know how much of that is made up, though, right? You're like, okay, so is this person a celebrity that's, this is the narrative that he's unjabbed or whatever. And, like this is the stuff that makes the news, like they're subject to the rules too. When in reality, probably no one in that celebrity class is, has gotten the thing, right? The thing sting, the toxination. Yeah, I'm just really sad, right? Because you think of countries like the United States and Australia, the UK, you think of these types of countries, right, as being free, you know, like kind of like an example to the rest of the world. But it seems like they're the first ones to set up these rules against us. And I think that you should be able to decide for yourself if you want to get. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want any kind of treatment unless I'm sick. If I'm sick, then I'll consider it. But if I'm not sick, then what am I doing here? Or you got to show me like how it's beneficial to me and other people. You have to show me. Oh yeah, absolutely facts. That's exactly what it is. They'll use any disaster, whether it's real or fake or whatever, to in the name of safety. It's like, oh yeah, to prevent, you know, terror, we got to do this or that. Do we have 10 years left? I'm going to say this. I don't think we have a year left. But there's different beliefs on that, right? I would say it's pretty thin as to what's still left possible. I would say very, very soon. No matter what your belief is, I'm thinking it's very soon. Just to take away, yeah, exactly, to take away the freedoms. And they'll use anything, man. Like, oh yeah, we got to prevent terror attacks, man. So we got to take all your stuff. I don't know, but it seems like that, right? Or like we gotta check 20 things of ID before you get on the airplane. You can't bring uh you can't bring 10 ounces of shampoo or more or whatever. I mean, they make a big deal out of that at the airport. I don't know if you guys know this or the last time you've been to an airport. I don't even think it's 10 ounces. I think it's actually less than that. Like if you have like 5 ounces of shampoo, they go crazy, man. Oh, this is unauthorized, sir. I gotta take this shampoo. And you're like, what are you talking about, man? But they do, man. They well, this is why I think that, Luke. I'm not just gonna say, 1 year and then okay, so I was like I was like where I could have gone either way, right? On a lot of things until Jake reminded me that the 2000, okay, so the Revelation 12 sign happened in 2017. Now I don't know how anybody could fake that or recreate that. So that I'm assuming that happened, right? And then you have the fig tree generation, which would put us right at almost 80 years for that generation from 1948. We're really close, right? Really close to I don't know, 70 something years. So you got that. Plus, there needs to be some time left at the end. Or, right? Or we're in an amillennial situation, or even a partial preterist situation where we're waiting on the day of the Lord, and that's only if the devil's using the same old tricks as he did the first time. I could see that happening. I could see that really happening. I could see that being real. And so that's what I think, Luke, because it it was supposed to be like 70 years as a generation, 80th by strength, right? From 1948, from when Israel became a nation till now, right? So it's got to be before 80 years, leaving a 7 or 3.5 year chunk of time after any kind of rapture. So soon, either way. I mean, I don't know how you get around it. I mean, how do you think the world is actually going to be if it was like this for another 10 or 20 years, man? It would be crazy out there, man. I mean, people really would be half robots, man, and people don't understand how exponentially this stuff is this stuff happens, you know? She says, my belief is a pre-wrath rapture after man's wrath, but before God's wrath. See, a lot of people are in that. No, but I've seen that before. Like, if you tell me that it's pre-wrath or say this, let me read. So if you say it's pre-trib or mid-trib, I would say that I could see it either way. But then I can also see it on the other side of the millennial too. But see, like that's if like you see, because they say nothing new under the sun, so it's like kind of a recreation of the last days before the millennial. It's hard to wrap your head around. It's possible. I mean, I don't put a lot of percentage in it, but I could see that being real, you know. And Rob says, Michael, yes, me too. Those who love this world continue. Those who love this world could live in one place, and those who love God could have their own little. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we were just like all Christians lived in one spot, where like nobody ever holds a grudge against anybody, everyone's forgiving 70 times 7. I couldn't hold a grudge against somebody more than a day and a half, man. And that would be an effort, man. That would be hard to go the whole next day. See, like I don't know how people can do it, man. How they get mad at you. Oh, you yelled at me. It's over. I can never talk to you again, and you're like, wow, man, my heart's open for you, but I don't know. How do you stay mad, man? It probably would have helped me in life to be able to stay mad longer, but I was never able to. I always would just be like, oh no, it's cool. Like trying not to cause any kind of rift or whatever. The thing could just happen, right? I just get beat up or something. Oh no, it's cool, brother. It's cool. let's work it out, man. I don't know, Knowing I'm making someone makes yes, exactly, Rob. Right? Knowing that you're making someone else feel bad is like it's torture, right? It's just torture. And then she says that sounds pleasant for soul winning and living as a testimony for non-belief. Yes. Well, that's really what it's about, right? It's like showing people who we are by how we love, And see, now I'm starting to find out because I always had this hard time of trying to find out who's really a Christian and who's trying to hurt me. Like, I'm not a good judge of that kind of stuff. Not that it's my job to know, but like, sometimes I really can't tell, and I set myself up to be taken advantage of a lot. And so now I look at it as where's the love in everything, right? Like if I'm going to say something to you, even if it's harsh, it's out of love. Like it's like to make you better or to make the group better, or our communication better. It'll never be just to be mean, right? Or to be for any other selfish reason, right? And so you got to look at it like, okay, well, where's the love coming from? You know? Yeah, you got to let the wheat and the tares grow together. Well, and I think for good reason too, right? Because God doesn't want us, running around here going, okay, you're a wheat, you're a tare, that kind of thing. That would cause a lot of dissension, Let everybody grow together, and at the end, let Him do it, He knows who a wheat and a tare is. And I see that's the cool thing, is it helps me trust God more, because I know that, like, there's times where I don't have a choice. It's either trust God or, feel miserable. And so it's like, okay, well, I trust God that He's not going to let me get taken advantage of too bad. He'll step, if I trust Him, He'll step in, and He's done that several times where I really put myself on a ledge. I kept forgiving people and kept loving, even though, like, it was getting to the point where it was almost dangerous, for me. And God steps in and takes care of you. He doesn't let you get. I mean, sometimes you got to go through trials and stuff like that, but if you trust God, He's always faithful. Luke says, I think that it's good to know who's fake and real, but at the same time, it's important to show love and not treat them different just because you feel they're right. Yeah. Well, you can't. See, that's the thing, right? You can't treat people different, or else, yeah, that's not real love, right? Like, most cases, I'll say, no, actually, pretty much every case, if I see two people and one of them is admitted to me that they're not saved and one is, then I would actually probably show more attention and love to the one that's not saved. I would be noticing what they're doing more, And I don't know how to show love any other way than just giving my full attention to people. Let's see here, Michael. Sometimes I get taken advantage of because I always try to put the other people first. Right. And see, it happens, right? Because they don't have the same feeling inside. Like, they're not trying to put you first. So that's two people putting them first. You know what I mean? And that's how they get us. I used to think everybody was the same. That, if you hurt me, you would feel kind of bad about it too. And then we'd have something to work with. But there's some people that just do not care. I mean, not only do they not care, they probably don't even realize that they've hurt you. It's just forget it, not able to understand that. And you're like, wow, man, how could you how could every time I come to you and we have a pie to split, you give me the small piece, man? What is up, man? Like, no matter what, you always give me the small one, when every time I cut it, you get the big one. And they probably don't even notice that. They probably don't even notice what you do and what they do. I don't know how to explain it. But I used to get really hurt by, like, family members and stuff. I'm like, you guys should be there to love me, man, to, like, help me out. And I used to think they were intentionally not being there for me, or intentionally not doing the same effort as I would do for them. Yeah, always get the smallest stack of pancakes, right? Right? But that's reality though, right? If we had a stack of pancakes, Rob, you and me, I'd give you the extra one. I'd make sure you had the extra stack. You'd get the full stack and I'd get the short stack. Yeah. I've seen people eat pancakes like they act like there's not gonna be no more pancakes ever made or something like that. Like at one of those firemen's breakfasts or whatever, there's a whole pile of pancakes, man. You see people just digging in there. They have to get the last one, there's like 12 on their plate. No, I got to get mine now. I can't wait. I can't save a couple pancakes there for other people and then wait for the next batch. It's crazy, man. To me, it's insane. I just little things, right? Little, I mean, but they probably think that some of the stuff we do is weird, you know? So I guess it goes back and it goes both ways. And we all have different gifts, I guess, right? Michael says, I think it happened while I was asleep last night. Oh, you've been hurting today? Like maybe it's something you ate. How to get a kink out of my neck? Well, if you know how to do some grounding kind of techniques, right? Sometimes it'll loosen the stress around your neck enough to where you can kind of move it. Bless them that curse you and pray for them that despitefully use you. Yes, absolutely. And there is a way to rejoice in that, you know, especially if you're getting like picked on, like because of God, right? That's a good thing. Like I don't know how to explain it, but God does protect us from that. Like it may happen, but we'll get something, and I don't ever look for it as like what am I going to get or anything, but I do notice that like God has a way of making that right, you know? And so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times that I'm just happy about this, right? No matter what kind of interaction I have with somebody, they could think it went one way and I could think it went another, right? I'm just glad that God sees everything. I am. I am. I want God to protect what's good. I don't, you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with me. I want what's good or what's honest to be protected in here and everywhere else, you know? It says, Luke says, sometimes it bothers me when people belittle me or disrespectfully act sarcastic towards me, but you let it go. Yeah, yeah, you're pretty calm and cool, man. Like, like I probably was less calm and cool than you at that age, you know. But yeah, like I was talking to, I'm not really good at being sarcastic. Like it gets like confused, and a lot of times people think I'm being, what do you call it, passive aggressive or whatever. But I'm really being for real. You know, like if I say something like, "Hey, you know, get some rest. You know, drink some water or whatever." I really care about you. But I've had people ask me if I was trying to challenge them. It's in some kind of way, and I'm like, no, I'm just saying, you know, get some rest. You know, drink some water. You know, I'm not saying nothing else about it. And then what else is there? Oh yeah, well, me and my brother used to do this. You know, argue about who's more humble, like like you know, kind of in a fun way, like, oh, I'm the humble champion of the world. And I guess that's sarcastic because I was talking to Jake about it and he said that that's kind of sarcastic. So I guess, you know, I don't know. I'm not good at saying jokes either. Like if I'm funny, it's by accident. Because when I try to be funny, I it's stupid. You know what I mean? Hey Ann, how you doing? I saw you here earlier, Ann, and then you snuck back in right before it's time to hit the old dusty trail. Yeah, we've been going kind of long, like like I like going long on the shows, right? But I used to have a lot more help, you know, and it's nerve wracking to be live, you know, like it takes energy, even though you're not doing anything extra. I mean, it takes energy out of you. I don't know how to explain it. Feels like I just ran a marathon when I'm done. We hardly experience persecution compared to the early church saints. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind like be like to be a martyr would be a like an honor, you know. Even though I know how that sounds, I know how that sounds. But they could come right now. I'd be okay with that. Donald Trump always talks about how humble he is, right? Yeah, that's kind of like the point. Yeah. So like Like we would argue about that. Like, oh yeah, I'm way more humbler than you. I'm the humble champion of the world. I'm gonna tell everyone how humble I am, Like it's like horrible, right? I mean, of course we're joking, right? Like no one's gonna do that. I mean, I guess Donald's doing that, but I think that when you are at that level of like having that much having that much money and all that stuff, right? You have to be a certain kind of stuff, like kind of selfish, self-centered kind of person to a point where you would probably have to announce when you're being humble, just so people would know that you're doing it. It probably wouldn't come natural, right? We have it good in this day, and yeah, we do, right? And I mean, I'll say this, right? Like we, oh, you got to take off. Oh, okay, all right, all right. Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad you feel better. But yeah, you're right, Hannah. It's just that like there's always somewhere in the world where somebody's suffering. That's the whole thing, right? Is there's people in countries that would probably think that they've been in tribulation for 20 years, You snuck back in, you were outside. But yeah, I mean it's just very well, I've heard Trump actually say he doesn't go to God for forgiveness because he doesn't do anything that he needs forgiveness for. That was his answer to a question. Like they asked him, do you ever go to God for forgiveness? And he says, I try not to do anything I need forgiveness for. Like, what is that all about, man? Fact says in North Korea they can't read the Bible. In China they have yeah, it's sad, right? Alex says like never before in history, millions and billions of trillion. Yeah, yeah, it's so sad, right? Some Middle Eastern countries, yeah. Well, now that it's like clear that there's there's Christianity and then there's Satanism, and there's only two things, right? I used to think that these other religions were a lot more innocent, right? Like that they really believed that there are people that believe that it's, real or whatever, or that it's the right thing. But at the very top, they know what it is. And I mean, it's sad to know that there's forced Satanism in countries, right? Think about that. I mean, isn't that insane? And imagine having a corrupted Bible. I mean, what do you trust? What do you trust if the Bible is like? I mean, I don't know. That's why I have a hard time having like I had what's his name on here to talk about how he doesn't think Paul is a real apostle or something like that. And okay, I'll hear that for a little bit, but if it's not like a super compelling case, I don't want to continue that discussion. I mean, you get one book, and that's the only thing you have. Like, I'm not going to go try to split it up and all that. I'm just going to be accountable for what's in the book that's already there. And you can call that being stubborn or whatever, but I've seen these verses come true in real life. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think. I mean, I don't know. If it was a better case, I would look at it. A must watch, Murder by Lethal Injection. Oh yeah, isn't that crazy? They actually show that. Isn't that crazy? Didn't they used to have didn't they used to have like this like videotape where it's called like Faces of Death or something, and it had real death on there? I mean, I don't know if I could watch something like that. I don't think I could. Not on purpose. Jesus is the only way. That's right. That's right. The way, not just a way, right? Absolutely. He's the truth, right? That's what makes me happy to be a truther. I mean, I feel good about being a Christian, and I feel good about being a truther, and I consider them both the same thing, Oh, is that what it is? Okay, okay, okay. I will take a look at that for sure. Well, it's starting to get to the point where you got to watch videos on another platform now, you know? It sucks, man, because we used to be able to watch all this stuff on here. Everything. I remember when FE, Flat Earth, was exploding, man. I mean, it was exploding. Like regular people were getting a lot of subscribers. And then all of a sudden, it just stopped. It just absolutely stopped. And some of those channels were getting big. And then one by one, regular people were disappearing, and just the regular non-Christian people were sticking around. I don't know. It kind of made me sad. Kind of made me sad. But it is what it is. Without Flat Earth, I don't think I would ever been able to build it even this big. I don't think it never would have happened. I think this is impossible for me. God was looking out for us. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's time to hit that old dusty trail. Yeah, a lot of channels got weird. Yes, yes. Well, they started to be more and more open with their witchcraft, right? Everything was about crystals and teas and all this stuff. Well, I told her because she does these streams, right? I try to tell Michelle, right? And she's like, talking away about, and I would love to talk like that, like just to be open about everything. And I'm like, oh, you got to be careful giving advice to people. You got to be careful doing this. You got to be, but she don't care. She could build 1,000 subscribers in a month, So she draws about 100 people over there. That's pretty good. But yeah. Alrighty, guys. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God because he deserves it. Please pray for the children. Please pray for anybody that is being victimized out there. Pray for each other. It's important. And I will see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.